Hey everyone, welcome back to the Zigging Mummy of Gozag. I'm Ultraviolent4, and I'm recording this one shortly after the premiere of the first episode. The premiere is a fairly new YouTube feature, and because of that, I think it caused a fair bit of confusion. I had quite a few people saying things like, "Hey Ultra, I got a notification for a new video, but it's not out yet. What gives?" Well, if you're still confused, the the notification for a premiere is telling you when the video will be released, and then the way that I imagine it is kind of like everyone's in a cinema together for their first playthrough. So when it hits that time, everyone gets to watch the video all at once, and there's a shared chat so you can all watch along and make hilarious jokes. And then after that first playthrough, it just basically becomes a regular video after then. Although if you look in the top right of the video playback page, there's an option to show the chat so you can pretend that you were there at the time. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. We had over 100 people in the chat room there watching it at once, and I really enjoyed it. The feedback I got is that everyone else there was having a bit of fun too. So I think I want to keep doing that. I'm not going to do it every video because that would be really annoying and crazy, but I think maybe not every time, but sometimes on the first episodes of new series we'll do a premiere, because basically I can just pretend that I'm actually able to stream. That's kind of what it was like. A poor internet man streaming. Anyway, I think that was all I wanted to say about that. So, where are we? The last episode, we made it to Temple finally. We're on D7, so it's the last possible temple, and we've just picked up Gozag. Gozag has a lot of really good synergy with mummies. If we look at his abilities, the first one is free, and that's Potion Petition. But when you use this, it gives you a bunch of potion effects. And because mummies naturally can't quaff any potions, you get access to a lot of different effects like haste, heal wounds, invisibility, so on, so on, so on, that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. That's really nice. And then the other things are also really good, especially if we're going to be doing zigs. Can you bribe zigs? I doubt it, but maybe. But if we're doing lots of zigs and we're getting infinite gold, we can call in lots and lots and lots of merchants, so we can just have ridiculous gear basically. I mean, you get ridiculous gear from doing zigs, but it can be doubly ridiculous or something like that. What's also nice about being a Gozag worshipping mummy is that probably the most annoying part of being Gozag is that whenever you kill enemies, they turn into gold. So you no longer can eat chunks, you have to use permafood. But because we don't have any food, we literally don't care. The only downside of that is that you can't get hides. So if we want something like a gold dragon scales, we'd have to actually find the item, or we'd have to get it from a shop or something like that. But there's a thing that I want to do here, and that's because once you enter the Potion Petition menu, you can't escape out of it. So, because every time I play Gozag, I press A to open the ability menu. Every now and then you accidentally hit A a second time, and then it costs you a bunch of gold because you can't exit out. So I'm going to do equals A to adjust Potion Petition from small a to large A. Very good. And I'll also point out, so Gozag doesn't use a piety system, so we're actually just wearing this Amulet of Faith as a bit of bling. But because there's no piety, if you look in the top right, it's showing our level of gold. And at the moment we're only 17. It's quite lucky. So depending on how much gold you've seen in your game, up to the point at which you decide to worship Gozag, he charges you a joining fee, which I completely forgot about. So there was that scroll shop earlier that we spent most of our gold at. Because I didn't even think about this at all, it would have been super embarrassing to get here and then realize we didn't have enough gold to actually worship Gozag, but we made it just with 17 to spare. But that's on my bad. It's probably, in that sense, kind of lucky that we got such a late um, temple, because, yeah, that would have been, well, yeah, embarrassing, basically. And another cool thing, well, it's not a cool thing, but it's a reason why a lot of players consider Gozak to be one of the strongest gods in the game. I'm not quite there. I think he's like definitely sort of up there in the well above average in terms of god range. But the reason that a lot of people really, really like Gozag is that you get immediate access to Potion Petition, and the first one is free. So it's like sort of like a get out of jail free card, a little bit. Oh yeah, and the other thing, see, we're picking up gold. That gold is going to, well, not the gold itself, as I discovered last time. After you kill enemies, you get a little status effect that's not actually shown everywhere. Maybe it should be. But when you've got that, it can cause enemies to be distracted by the gold, and so they waste turns. What was the point I was making? Oh yeah, I completely messed up all my skilling. So I was only intending to do air magic to 2, the same with conjurations. No, not conjurations. The same with summonings, because we were just training it for Core Imp and for Mephitic Cloud. Both of those are still going. Air Magic's at 4.3, which I really don't like, but we got Mummy Aptitude, so I don't know, I'll have to deal with that for the moment. And Summoning, we probably can keep going with. So it would be really good to start training towards Summon Ice Beast, which we can learn. I may as well get it in our spell list. Actually, arguably I should have learnt. We still can. Call Canine Familiar. Do I really care about that? Maybe not. It shouldn't take us too long to get to summon Ice Beast anyway. For the moment, I'm going to put that on the letter Z. So I can just hit ZZ to summon Ice Beast. And so we're going to have to change our training up a little bit here. I think Conjurations we can stop at 5, just so it's a round number. We'll take Summonings to 5 as well. And then when both of those are there, we'll start just focusing Ice Magic to see if we can get Ice Beast going. We've probably got, yeah, we've got Magic Dart to max power anyway. Max power, max power. So the only thing that training more Conjurations will do is drop the failure on Conjure Flame and Mephitic Cloud. They're the main important things. The Sky Beast. Let's Mephitic Cloud it so it gets, okay, I was going to say it gets confused before it then goes invis. I didn't know they would still do that invis thing while confused. Anyway, Magic Dart doesn't miss even if something is invis. So as long as you know where it is, you won't miss it. I feel like there was something I wanted to do, but I don't know. I just got a nagging feeling. Okay, we've found our first shield of the game that's actually usable, and that is a buckler. So, are we carrying around the large shield at the moment? We are. So I can preemptively say we're going to kill that Gnoll Sergeant and take his buckler. So let's also start training shields. I'm going to take that to 4, which is the penalty breakpoint of a buckler. And we do have one magic mapping. So we're detecting the piles of gold on the floor. What did we see? Is it an ossuary? How useful is an ossuary? Kind of half and half. An ossuary tends to have a lot of consumables in it, and of course all the potions are useless for us, but sometimes often good scrolls in there too. I think I would like to get in there, so we're going to magic map. And it's going to be this yellow one, which is quite close to this stair. So I think the easy play is just to go back up and see if we can find which stair that was. That way we won't, that way we won't have to fight our way across this whole floor, but this is quite nasty. Maybe that other stair would be better, and we'll sort of run around the back. Well, we're stuck bringing the black bear up. And because we're playing in Trunk, these guys are a lot more nasty now. It used to be the case that bears would only berserk when they're nearly dead, but now they'll actually berserk anytime they want. So we're gonna Mephitic him. Alright. Not too bad if he doesn't Zerk. There's Conjurations to 5. Summonings is almost there, so we'll just turn Ice Magic on and focus it. We'll take that also to 5. Maybe we won't focus it. We'll just train that. We'd be better off actually focusing shields, because while we've got a shield penalty, that will also be affecting it. So there's not really any point rushing the Ice Magic to then not be able to cast the spell anyway just because of the buckler. So we'll get rid of the buckler penalty first and foremost. Now let's see if this third stair is better, or if this floor is just nonsense. I'm really glad that Howler-Monkey didn't wake up, because if it had, it was going to make all of the noise and drag all that stuff to us again. Yeah, that way was much better. I probably should stop fighting stuff. Yeah, there are some... Oh nice, we got an Amnesia Scroll. I'm already excited about this. And a fan of Gales, which is nice. Why am I excited about this? Because we're not Sif Muna, and our spell list, when we start going to do Ziggs, is going to be very, very different to what our spell list is now trying to get there. So there are going to be a lot of spells, like most of our list here. Magic Dart, Conjure Flame, Mephitic Cloud, Call Imp, Ice Beast, all of those are going to be useless in Ziggs. So at some point we're going to want to forget those. We've got to remember that our Mephitic Cloud does nothing in here because all the zombies are poison immune. Yeah, summon Ice Beast with a 43% failure chance, but being red is kind of scary. But we can maybe... Nah, it's fine. Let's just make a couple of imps. That should be good. Zombies are slow, so we could always just walk away from them and shoot them with the sling if we run out of magic points. Cool. Look at these needle traps. The water moccasin zombie isn't slow. I wonder if we could have walked away from him. I'm not actually sure. I doubt it. Our Crimson Imp is getting poisoned by the needle traps. That's too bad. He's only resistant to it. That's an arrow trap. That was some real good moving by the Auto Explorer there, because we don't care if we step on needle traps. We're not going to get poisoned, but we certainly care if we step on arrow traps. So it probably should just ignore needle traps for the purposes of our movement. Oh cool, we got an Iron Imp. He has 12 base damage. That's, yeah, it's the highest of the imps. So he actually can just kill stuff by punching it with his iron fists. Okay, last room has mummies. They're our brethren, our toilet papered friends, although in this case not friendly. Unlike us, they're slow. So if I wanted to, I could totally avoid being hit by them there. Let's pick up the Fan of Gales. Pretty useless without any evocation skill, but who knows. By the time we're zigging, we might have enough experience to have 27 in everything. Maybe not everything. That would take an extremely long time on a mummy where all your aptitudes are -2, more or less. I am going to take this hatch, not because I'm testing it, but because I want to use it to stair dance with. And Centaur. We're going to attempt the Mephitic Cloud. got there. Alright, here come the Howler-monkeys. So they're probably gonna drag a lot of stuff to this stair, which is not necessarily a bad thing because then we can stair dance it. And I'm still not respecting Orc Wizards enough. We don't have any MR, so they still always have a 24% chance to confuse us. Why is it less now? Is it just because I think it's just because we're leveling up, so our natural MR is maybe slightly higher. We've got 1 pip of it now when before we had none. It would be good if we could Mephitic him though. There's the electric eel. How about we just shoot it with the wand of random effects? We hasted the work ant. That's not what I meant. Disintegration, we'll just random effects it. We can always just go back up. Well, we confused it, but we've got all this other stuff coming. If we could just kill... He walked out of the water! Dude, you're way too confused. You can't live. You can't live out of the water. Dude, he's flopping on dry land. I've never seen this. I've never seen a confused eel just leave the water. Dude, you can't... You know those really old memes where it's, I don't know, like a truck's flipped or something? It's like, silly truck, you can't walk on your side. What are you doing? That's how I feel. Electric eel, dude. I'm gonna Mephitic everyone. I should go back upstairs, but I'm curious to see how this story ends. Oh, he went back to the water. Okay, I feel happier in that knowledge. Okay, I know he's an enemy electric eel, but that just seems like torture. Just have him suffocating like that out on land. I mean, I'm a mummy, but I'm not a monster. Both those wizards had daggers of venom. That's really nasty. Okay, let's see if he's smart enough to path around the fire. I don't think so. I think he's just standing there. Yeah. The way that you cast spells, if you can't actually see an enemy, is you have to hit Shift Z. That's saying cast the spell regardless of whether or not it's actually going to do anything. Can this guy die already? Not quite, almost. There we go. That was a lot harder than it should have been. Oh, a glowing robe. It's fire resistance too, but I'd rather just have the leather armor, I think. The little bit of extra AC at the cost of having summon Ice Beast be a little bit less castable is okay. And more Orc Wizards, who we are going to respect, because we are Orc Wizard respecters. I was going to point out that we'd never found the Orc Sergeant again, and just as that thought crosses my mind, he turns up. Speak of the Norse Sergeant, and he doth appear. Yeah, the confusion change. Gotta respect enemies now, especially confused enemies that are in melee range with you. Oh, that really hurts. I can still very easily just attack you. Like, look, he's perfectly following us, even though he's confused there. There's a 1 in 3 chance that they'll actually execute the move that they want to. How do we fail Magic Dart? 1% chance. We're on D8. Should not be failing Magic Dart. And then we fail Mephitic. Good, let's get his buckler. Let's not die to the electric eel. Good. It's a +2 Spear of Venom. I think that's just better than the Trident of Flaming. And in that case we can drop the Dagger of Venom. This is similar. We can still reach over Conjured Flames and stuff, but now we can also kite stuff with it. We're gonna ID the scroll. It's Sphere. Enchant armor. I think we're just gonna hang on to those. I could be enchanting our stuff, but I don't know. I don't feel like we've had any. I can't think of any circumstances where I really wish that we had more AC. I can think of lots of situations where I wish we had a better looking cloak. I don't know, they're both really lackluster. Let's wield the buckler maybe. Let's check our spell failures. I'm doing that with Shift I. Everything looks okay. Except summon Ice Beast, but that's okay because we can't really cast that anyway just yet. It shouldn't take too much longer to get to 4. And the thing is, spellcasting, do we just keep going forever? I think so. I think I just leave spellcasting training on, like for the whole game basically. Maybe not. But for the moment, maybe I should set a target. We'll take it to 10 and then we can reassess, because if I actually leave it on, it'll be like 20 or something. And then I'll realize, hey, maybe that's too much spellcasting. Alright, so it's a D9 lair. It's a bit too early. I mean, we are poison immune, so a lot of the scarier threats for being underleveled in lair aren't quite so bad. I'm thinking of black mambas and spiny frogs. But we're sort of lacking a little bit of lair firepower, or the opposite, until we get summon Ice Beast. Lacking a bit of ice power. I don't think that's something people say. But anyway, because we'd be trying to kill things like hydras with magic darts. I can tell you from experience, it's really sad. I once played it was a mummy wizard in fact, of Sif Muna during a tournament. A couple of tournaments ago. Whoops. I didn't get, because I was spamming my magic dart macro too quickly, I missed the opportunity to put down a new Conjured Flame. But anyway, so I was playing a mummy wizard of Sif Muna. And I had finished Lair, and Sif Muna had given me a few books, but not a single offensive spell. So I was still trying to kill enemies with like magic darts and conjure flames and stuff. And this was now a character that had finished Lair. It was so pathetic. It was. I think I ended up dying because I eventually just lost my patience. Like every single fight was like some epic battle of, you know, blinking around and trying to Mephitic Cloud them and conjure flame and just plinking away with magic darts. It was really, really sad. Oh, speaking of hydras, well, we happened to just get random energy. So, it caught me again. I was gonna say, as long as he doesn't catch us again, we get a chance to put a conjure flame down. But that does indicate to us that he's on the verge of dropping back again. So if I just walk away, we're likely to get another gap and then I'll conjure flame. Now we could just blink away from him, but he's got 4 heads, so I think he's unlikely to kill us. Even if he did get super lucky on random energy. I saw we got away from him for a second there. I should do this a bit more slowly. Anyway, even if you random energied on top of us, I don't think a 4-headed Hydra will kill us in one shot. Although a yak behind us might, if we get pinned between them. Okay, the yak didn't notice us, perfect. And then the yak got in the way of the Hydra. That's amazing. Thank you, yak. That's extremely helpful. So now we can Mephitic Cloud and the Hydra just swapped. Damn it, I was hoping he'd get confused and just be stuck in the way of the Hydra. So, I just shot myself in the foot. That's great work there, Ultra. You could have just walked back upstairs with the yak, but you decided to get greedy. So I was hoping that the yak would get basically be confused in front of the Hydra, so the Hydra wouldn't be able to swap. And then I just step back a bit, make a Conjure Flame, and then we could just shoot the stuff. But yeah, the Yak actually walked back and then allowed the Hydra to switch in front of it. Feels bad, man. Oh, and now we're gonna get stuck between a work ant. Oh, he again didn't notice us! Okay. Alright, Ultra. Don't mess this up a second time. I'm so tempted to. Now let's learn our lesson. I don't believe both times those enemies that could have trapped us between them and the Hydra both didn't notice us. That's the 1.5 levels of stealth that we started with. Coming to the rescue. Oh, it's a Merfolk. That's okay. They get pretty owned by Mephitic Cloud, and then I remember that, yeah, confused monsters now can still quite easily hit you. Okay, so the Merfolk will be here now. Alright, I think we can just shut this door indefinitely, so long as the Hydra doesn't come back to heal. So, what's going to happen here is that every time I shut the door, like this, the Merfolk's going to use its turn to open the door. And eventually, when it gains random energy, it will open the door and then step through it. So because this is a sort of an ideal situation where it can't see us, like say instead the Merfolk were here, this would be dangerous because when it got random energy, it could open the door and then reach and hit us with the spear. But in this case, because it can't see us, it would have to step there first. And then we'd get outturned back. And if we're still on, say, 15 HP when that happens, we can read a blinking scroll, or we could do a potion petition, or we could do something like that. But in this case, I'm not going to do it too quickly. Like I could just be spamming the C button, but the Hydra might turn up. And then that would be a really bad way to die. Okay, so there we go. Got the random energy. We're still only on 18 HP. It can hit for 22 plus its spear, so it could very easily kill us. So while it sucks to lose one of our 4 blinking scrolls, I think that's probably the better play than trying to potion petition. Or even, we've got 1 fear scroll. Fear would almost certainly work on it, but there's a chance that it doesn't and then we just die. And we could random blink, but that might also just land us somewhere here and we die. Especially against an enemy with reaching, it really increases the number of tiles that would be deadly, because any that are within range of the spear, we could get hit again. So I think we just blink scroll. It's kind of a waste insofar as this was totally avoidable, because I keep forgetting that confusion is nerfed now, so I can't. Oh yeah, I should not have come to that stair too. The Hydra could have been there. Alright, so I'm just tilting now. But anyway, so once upon a time, confused monsters would sometimes still hit you, but they mostly wouldn't. I've got to remember now that a third of the time, the monster will still just successfully attack you even though they're confused. Nice, we walked into the Hydra. So we're adjacent to it again. Oh, okay, well he just random energied and hit us. Okay, well I don't want to go to the stair because if it's still next to us, we didn't get the gap from random energy between now and then, we'd be in a spot where we have to take a shot. I'm better off just walking away, and if we get a gap here we can just shut the door. Come on dude, you random energied me and hit me. You should fall back. Good, now fall back, stay back. Okay, good. Now shut the door on you. I don't really want to walk in there because there's likely to be a Merfolk, but that's probably less scary than the... There it is. Than the Hydra. Although, not too scary. Wow, okay, she completely ignored the Mephitic Cloud. That's outstanding. Alright, there we go. And I want to be far away from her. In fact, I want to make something that's just going to kill her. Summon Ice Beast would... it's still red, so we could get a bad miscast chance out of this. Miscast effect. But a 26% chance to fail isn't too bad. Okay, never mind. Alright, there we go. That one worked. I'll just make a couple of imps. And... oh, the Hydra's back. But this stuff should take down the Merfolk. It's still not. There we go. Alright, I think the Hydra's coming. Okay. Alright, there it is. New plan. Stand on the stairs, make a couple of Ice Beasts. Okay, and then see if they can take it down. Ice Beasts are really strong against Hydras because they have cold branded attacks, and that slows the Hydra. Nice. We get to level 10. We get Int on our random level up, which is exactly what we wanted. And we reach level 4 for our shields, which is our buckler penalty gone. So now I think we focus Ice Magic. And we got a skill target on already. Alright, so we try to get Summon Ice Beast down. It's down to 22%. We get a Wand of Clouds, which is amazing. On some other characters, on a regular one, if I had Disintegration and this early Wand of Clouds, I'd probably consider training Evocations. But with Mummy Aptitudes, you don't have a huge amount of spare experience to go around. So we're going to hold off. There's a troll. This guy might be willing to walk through a lot of fire, so I'm going to make a couple of tiles of it. He's not. Yeah, we're still going to confuse him, and then he'll maybe step into the fire. Oh yeah, okay, he'll never make a troll leather armor. I was just thinking, if he drops one, I wonder if I'd use it. The answer is probably no, because we'd be susceptible to fire again. But I was forgetting, and this is something I'll probably forget a lot of times, because you always do when you're playing Gozag. You cannot get any hides or any scales from any monsters, because they all just become gold. Okay, here's the goal of the playthrough. We're going to try to do infinite zigs while never using a potion petition. Just kidding, that will never happen. We should be picking up magical staves, and we should also pick up this blowgun, do we? No, I don't really care about the blowgun. But staves, definitely. There we go, and it's a Staff of Fire. So this would allow us to take off the leather armor, because if we ever meet a fire enemy, we can always wield the Staff of Fire, which gives you a point of RF. I'm adjusting it to be W, so I can easily just hit WW to wield it. WW, WW, WWE. No, the E is for eat, which we can't do. Anyway, so we could have a whole bunch of AC again at the cost of losing access to Ice Beast. 34%. Mephitics at 12, that's fine. Conjure Flames at 21, because we have trained literally no fire magic. How big a deal is that? Not a huge deal. I'd quite like to have 10 AC, 10 evasions. This is 20 for our AC evasion defenses, whereas the leather armor is 16. So this is significantly boosting our survivability. So I think I like this now that we have a Staff of Fire to get RF. So let's train maybe 2 points of fire magic just to drop Conjure Flame. I'm going to keep training summoning and ice magic, so Ice Beast shouldn't take too much longer to get down. We've still got a bit of a ways to go before we get to Lair, before I actually really want to have Ice Beast. Oh yeah, I gotta remember. The Wyvern's terrifying because it's fast, so it can very easily, confusedly just continue to attack us. And Wand of Enslavement. Ooh. The desire to train evocations increases. I think we still hold off. We have 3 throwing nets. What was going on there? Oh, there's a little god room in there with a death altar. We want to go in there because there's some gold. So we're going to have to test all the upstairs on D10 here. He never saw us. Interesting. Orc Wizard's still really terrifying. So let's get some bodies between us. And we'll preemptively put the fire down, just in case. Yeah, I had a feeling the wyvern might run into it anyway. So, how likely something is to run into the fire depends on its intelligence and some other things. Like, for instance, monsters don't care if they don't take damage from the cloud type. So, if you Mephitic Cloud a zombie, it will just ignore it. I think I said intelligence, so yeah. Monsters that aren't intelligent, so wyverns in this case, although other notable examples are hydras, are much more likely to run into it. And monsters with high HP, so if there's a double-headed ogre running at you in the early dungeon, don't expect one fire cloud to stop it, because it'll probably just be like, I'll step in your fire cloud for 1 turn, sure, and then keep going. For monsters like that, you want to have a gauntlet of fire, so it just keeps them running. So we're going to put down another one. We're going to try, because we got a 19% chance to fail it. We're good. And we're going to meth it. Yeah, it died pretty quickly. As soon as it goes in the fire, like, it's just going to die. He willingly stepped into the noxious fumes. He's an idiot. Or maybe he's not, because he's an orc warrior facing down a wizard plinking magic darts at him. He's taking literally no damage. Oh, we found another one. He has also a buckler. But his buckler, I think, probably looks cooler. Anyway, we can just run from him. Because the bullfrog is faster, it's much more likely to end up in front of him, and then we can Mephitic Cloud. He's ignoring it. No, I really want you to get confused. There we go. Crimson Imps are going to do nothing to him. The better way is actually probably just to surround him by fire and hope he confusedly just steps into it. He's really not going to. A Crimson Imp is actually like nearly killing him. It's amazing. Okay, as soon as he gets next to us, I'm just walking away. Because I don't want him to confusedly hit us. Good. I think this buckler looks better. The black one. Yeah, I like this one better. Hornet. Pretty scary when you're susceptible to poison, but we are not. So it can't paralyze us. By susceptible to poison, I mean not immune to it. Oh man. I keep forgetting the Orc Warrior. It's going to take me a long time to adjust to this confusion nerf, I think. It's just such ingrained behavior. When monsters are confused, they're useless. But that's really not the case anymore. Also, pillar dancing around a 1-tile pillar never works. Because like that, even when you gain a random energy gap, then you can't move again because the monster will just follow you the other way. Yeah, I'm trying to get a 3rd point of magic points so then we can Mephitic him again. Oh, go away, Phantom. Oh, he hit himself with his battle axe. Speaking of embarrassing deaths. How are we going? We're at 800 gold. So you see we're at the point where we could technically call a merchant right now. There are two reasons why you don't want to do it immediately like this. The first is that you always want to keep a bit of bank for potion petitions. So after the first free one, they'll cost 400 gold. I like to at least have 2 usable at any given time. The second is that even once you call the merchant, then you need gold to buy stuff in the shops anyway. So there's no point even funding one until you have some gold to spend there. Here's the hornet. I wonder if you will run into the fire. It doesn't look like it. Okay. We can method in though. Oh boy. It still hurts though. We've got an armor shop. Wow. The +4 robe of augmentation with strength +4, int +4, dex +4. So I just said I like to have 2 uses of potion petition at any given time, but this is just such a good thing for us to have right now that I'm just gonna splurge on it. It's +4, so it's gonna give us good defenses, and then it's got all the stats on it. In addition to being a robe, so we're gonna be able to use our spells probably. We're 10 and 10 right now. This makes us 8 and 12. So comparable. This looks really cool. I like that tile. Let's drop the +3 ring mail, and it brings our summon ice beast down to 9%. So we can now start using that spell pretty freely. And conjure flame, we sort of don't need to train anymore, but we'd be leaving it at 1.5. I mean, I've already made a mess of our skill screen here. We've got air magic sitting there at 4.3. We've got... Why do I have translocations at 0.7? How did I do that? I don't know. Alright, we're going to turn fire magic off. I think we should learn a bit of translocations. We've got blink at 6%. Let's just take that to 2. So if we do need to use a random blink, we don't hit that 6% failure chance and then just die. Oh, there's Erica. Okay, speaking of enemies who... Oh, she has a wand of enslavement as well, which is terrifying. So she has all sorts of really scary things for us right now. She has a flaming scimitar. And we don't have our RF on yet, although we can switch to the stuff for it. But the main scary thing is that her wand of enslavement, when monsters enslave you, confuses you. But she also has a spell confusion, and she's got a 38% chance to confuse us with it, which as a mummy just means we basically die. So I'd like to get some ice beasts off. Okay. Oh, she enslaved my ice beast. Oh, okay, she's next level. She's gonna enslave my ice beast. Wait, this isn't fair. That's not how this is supposed to work. Oh boy, and she doesn't care, she just Iron Bead through her ice beast anyway. Oh yeah, I didn't see this working at all. I'm instructing my dudes to run at her. This is so scary because her scimitar of flaming just straight up cuts through them. Ice beast is susceptible to fire. I might have been better to just go for the Mephitic Cloud Plate, but that's so risky. Any turn that I give her to confuse us is one where we're essentially open to just dying, because any confusion is game over basically. I could have cloudsed her. Okay, it's too late. I don't want to do anything to her when she's invis. I think we just read one of our 7 scrolls of teleportation, and then next time we meet her, we just throw down clouds. Oh right, the bear's unconfused. We've got to be super wary of that because they can berserk at any time. Oh cool, we found the upstairs bit with the gold in it. Which means we're about to meet the angry bear. And Erica has relatively good MR for this point in the game, so our Wand of Enslavement is probably unlikely to kill her. And any time, sorry, I feel like I'm about to break out in the hiccups. Anytime that I have line of fire to even try to shoot a Wand of Enslavement at her, she has line of fire to shoot hers at us. And then she's got the confusion spell as well. This centaur has a +6 Wand of Clouds and a haste potion. So if we can kill him, we can have 10 charges on a Wand of Clouds on D10, which is insane. Although he's hasted now. Well, we've got some shield and we've got 8 AC and 12 evasion, so I think our play is just to try to run around this corner. Okay, yeah, we're alright. And then we're gonna mef him. He also has an Amulet of Rage. This dude is stacked! He's got Haste Potion, Amulet of Rage, and a Wand of Clouds. What the hell, dude? Okay, he is confused. I've got to be so careful here because if he gets unconfused and then he just goes berserk, he could very easily just end us. So I think our better play here is make Ice Beast and then get as far away from him as I can. Go Ice Beast. Can you... Yeah, go kill him, please. I'm going to throw out another Mephitic Cloud just to try to keep him confused. Oh, he died. Okay, good. Alright, so now we have 10 charges of a Wand of Clouds. I really want to train Evocations now. 10 Wand of Clouds this early is insane. Do we just skip day 10 or the rest of the dungeon and go to Lair? Hang on. We maybe could train Evocations. Our Ice Magic, because we went down to the rope, our Ice Magic is almost finished training. And we're not desperate for more spellcasting right now. I think we're going to do it actually. When our Ice Magic gets to 5, I'm going to start training some Evocations. We're going to have 10 Enslavement, 8 Disintegration, 10 Clouds, and more Enslavement if we can kill whatever that grill's called, Erica. This is probably crazy, but I feel like I want to go fight her. She's one of the most dangerous enemies in the early game for a mummy. But I'm trying to find her. That seems crazy, right? Okay, I don't know where she is, so we'll just try to go to the next floor. We'll try to forget that she's anywhere. And we probably got punished here, so we found an ice cave. I don't know, maybe we didn't. Maybe we can take on an ice cave. I'm thinking that, so some ice cave endings have, of course, things like fiends or frost giants. I'm trying to imagine how we'd kill one of those with magic dart and summon Ice Beast. I don't know, I don't think it would work too well, but we can try. So I'm gonna magic map 1 of 5. And it's going to be super far away, turns out. It's near that upstairs, but in order to go there, we'd potentially meet Erica on the floor above. So it might be better to just run along the bottom. Would it? No. I'm gonna see if we can do it. Oh, we got the other one that's not really closer. I want to be, yeah, that upstairs. Alright, here we go. Giving Erica all the chances to find us. Alright, so we're closer now. Alright. Well, I'm going to call this an episode. So if you join me in the next one, we're going to try to get to the ice cave. And we're going to try to do it. Is it crazy? I don't know. Find out next time. Bye.